Okay, so when I first started my Tourette's 4 years ago, I didn't know what it was. I was sure that it was tardive dyskinesia because, and even my doctor thought so, because it was probably from a medication. Like, I was on a very high dose of Seroquel at the time when it started, so I thought it has to be the medication. It can't be like a coincidence. There was also, it was either the medication or the anxiety, the incredible high anxiety that I was living at the time. So I didn't think about it being Tourette's, and then like for quite a while I went on without knowing what was going on with me, and then finally the neurologist, when I met him, he said that he thought it was Tourette's. Like, he recognized right away my movements, and he says, this is tics. You're having tics, and yeah. So he said that usually Tourette's would start in childhood. Tics start in childhood. And I thought, I didn't have this in my childhood, and he had me look back, and that I remember that there were things that were like tics in my childhood, but I didn't know what they were at the time, and also because they didn't feel the same as they did when I started 4 years ago, so I didn't really associate the two. But I did have tics when I was a kid. Well, I was a teenager, not when I was a kid. They started the first times, I think I was 14 or 15. And it lasted for a few weeks, but I was constantly moving my head like this, and it would crack my neck at the same time, and I had to do it. I absolutely had to do it, and it drove me insane, and it drove my mother insane. We were sitting in the living room watching a movie, and there's click 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 in the background because I'm cracking my neck. And she's like, "Stop it, Melissa!" And I'm like, "I want to, but I can't." And then they didn't understand why I couldn't stop, and I didn't understand why I couldn't stop. And it was painful even for me, not just emotionally, but physically. It was painful because if I couldn't stop cracking my neck, it would wear down on my nerves, and, well, not my nerves, my physical nerves. It was painful. And even when I was trying to sleep at night, I was laying in bed, and I was still ticking. I was still moving my neck again and again, and I thought, I'll never fall asleep if I keep doing this, and I have to try extremely hard to concentrate on relaxing because it would take like forever. And then when I was right when I woke up in the morning, it would start up again, and I didn't really have peace from it for months. Well, for the first time it was for about 3-4 weeks, and then the next time it came around I was 17 years old, and it lasted several months. So and I didn't have any vocal tics at the time, so it wouldn't be considered Tourette's at all. It was a transient tic disorder, as far as I know. Transient tic disorder. Yeah, so I didn't associate it. I didn't think it was the same thing as what happened then, like in 4 years ago, because the way it felt when I was a teenager, it was something that I absolutely had to do. Had to do it. It was partially I can't say unwanted, unwilling, or anyways, movements that I had no choice to do. So I had to do it. But then the ones that started 4 years ago, it was more like it automatically just happened. It wasn't something I absolutely had to do. It was something that just happened. Like, the movements just my body started moving without me even thinking about it. And now, at this point in my life, it's a mixture of the two. Sometimes it's movements that just happen, and they just my body moves in whatever direction, or I say whatever thing, and other times it's things that I feel like I really, really, really have to do. So that's why I say that it started 4 years ago. Technically, my tics started in my teens, but I say that it started 4 years ago because I didn't really associate it at the time, and because, well, it's different, I guess. It's not really different, but for me it's different. So, yeah. I think I've rambled on long enough, so I guess I just wanted to explain where the origins of my Tourette's, and I don't know. My theory is sort of like that. Maybe I had the Tourette's was like dormant in my system or something, and then I had the really high anxiety, and that maybe déclenché. It was déclenché. Déclenché. it's it started it took off from there like because of it. Okay, I need some francophones to tell me what's the words. It took off from that, from the anxiety. Unhooked. No, that's not it either. Anyways, they're caused by the anxiety. So maybe it was dormant in my system, and then that reanimated. Yeah, so that's what I think. That's what my doctor thinks too. My psychiatrist, I don't know what she thinks anymore. My neurologist says that it's not from the medication. Anyways, of course, he says Tourette's can't be caused by medication. Okay, so not Seroquel.